Thank you to today's sponsor, Science on Call, 24/7 technical support for all your restaurant needs. Every restaurant owner is familiar with this annoying situation. Your point-of-sale system is malfunctioning, threatening to ruin your day's business and potentially your entire future. You call for a service appointment with a technician from your point-of-sale company, and he arrives at your business once again smelling of sour milk and repeatedly joking that this point-of-sale system is, quote, a real POS, unquote. You and your employees hate this man. Thankfully, with Science on Call, you no longer have to suffer a visit from an irritating technician. Simply contact Science on Call, and their team of helpful, efficient, and, most importantly, nice-smelling experts will troubleshoot your issue and have your system back in service quicker than you can make an off-color pun. For all your restaurant technical support needs, Science on Call is just a click, a tap, a text, or a scan away. Visit scienceoncall.com/pizza to book a demonstration now. Welcome to Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program, or IJP, where I ask the question, whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's? A proud part of the Panoply Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Pizzaply Media. I'm your host, Brian Thompson, investigative journalist. It may be a technical term, but even amateur economists are familiar with the word inflation. It is the phenomenon whereby over time the cost of goods and services increases while the spending value of currency decreases. It is why, for example, a movie ticket, which would cost a nickel in 1932, might cost $462 today, depending on the night of the week and whether one is seeing a film in a regular auditorium or in Dolby D-Box 360 4D LaserVision. There are many factors that lead to inflation, but perhaps the most primary is the fact that as it ages, money simply becomes less valuable. Take a $20 bill, for example. When it is freshly printed, crisp, bright, and new, your average chickenmonger is thrilled to hand over up to 4 ripe chickens in exchange for it. But when the $20 bill becomes old and frayed, spotted with unidentifiable stains, and crawling with all manner of wallet-borne bacteria, it is then worth only 1 or 2 chickens, and overripe ones at that. This is inflation, and even though it is an economic phenomenon that affects every currency-based system in every country on the face of the planet Earth, the only person who has any control over it is whoever happens to be the current president of the United States. But why am I speaking of economics on a program ostensibly about investigating McDonald's pizza matters, such as whatever happened to it, etc.? Well, recent concerns about inflation in the fast food industry may have quite an impact on McDonald's pizza's chances of returning to the menu. Plus, sometimes an investigative journalism program can be about more than one thing, and it is the hallmark of a limited mind to think otherwise. Some weeks ago, a user by the name of @jfoshizi posted a post on the social media website currently known as Twitter that went somewhat metaphorically viral. In this post, Mr. Foshizi claims that the Taco Bell beefy 5-layer burrito, which cost 89 cents upon its release in 2009, now sells for $3.69, an increase in cost that drastically outpaces the average rate of inflation in the same period. Doing my due diligence as an investigative journalist, I investigated the cost of the beefy 5-layer burrito at the closest Taco Bell to my headquarters/apartment deep within the bowels of the island of Manhattan Island, and was shocked to discover its cost here is even higher, $5.29. To be fair to Taco Bell, the cost of almost everything on the island of Manhattan Island is somewhat higher than it is elsewhere, as Mayor Eric Adams recently levied a new tax on all businesses to pay for his plan of opening New York City's first water park by flooding the subway system. But regardless, something seems to be amiss with the price of fast food. Post this viral post, it was reported that the Wendy's Corporation was considering instituting surge pricing at its restaurants, which would see the cost of certain items increase depending on the demand at any particular time of day. They since stated that they will not be moving forward with this plan, after many disgruntled customers made it known they would simply purchase cheaper hamburgers from competitors and render them indistinguishable from Wendy's hamburgers by using a pair of scissors to cut the patties into squares. But this issue only increased attention on the crisis of fast food costing quite a bit more than you would think it should. There are many theories as to why restaurants have seen fit to raise their prices thusly. Some say the continuing consequences of the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic are still being felt in the food supply chain. Others say fast food corporations are looking to appeal to a wealthier demographic than their core customer base of impoverished peons, not unlike myself. And many claim the powers that be have simply realized people are chemically addicted to combo meals and will pay any price for them. Regardless of the cause, rising prices are a reality that must be addressed by activists advocating for McDonald's Pizza's return. If and when McDonald's chooses to bring the pizza back, it would be quite a shame if they were forced to sell it at such an inflated cost that it transitions from being pretty good for the price to not that great for the price. The key, I think, to ensuring this does not happen is to be proactive in securing a low-cost supply chain for McDonald's pizza ingredients. And I believe I may have discovered a sustainable and, more importantly, cheap source of one of these key ingredients: crusts. Most are familiar with the fast food pizza chain Little Caesars, which for years has been humiliating McDonald's by offering pizzas that are both hot and ready, a powerful rebuke to McDonald's claim that pizza simply takes too long to make. But one consequence of the hot and ready business model is that Little Caesars must make many more pizzas per day than they can sell. Indeed, if they did not make enough pizzas, and someone were to enter a restaurant to find none that were either hot or ready, the entire company could be destroyed by a well-financed false advertising lawsuit, not to mention the loss of property and life that might result from a riotous mob of hangry customers. So for their own safety, Little Caesars bakes quite a surplus of pizzas, which they simply deposit in the dumpster at the end of every business day. In fact, this mass dumpstering of unsold pizzas ends up increasing the company's profits, as they are able to claim several millions of dollars in tax write-offs every year by metaphorically baking the books vis-a-vis how many pizzas were actually thrown away. And due to laws regarding finders and whether or not they are in fact keepers, this means that millions of pizzas per night are free for the taking by whichever Little Caesars competitor might institute a mass dumpster diving campaign. This is how I propose McDonald's save a tremendous amount of money on their crust supply. One might wonder why McDonald's would only use the crusts from these discarded pizzas and not use the whole pizza, since they are already fully cooked, sauced, cheesed, and topped. So please allow me to demonstrate my remarkable patience by explaining the simple answer to this ignorant question. If McDonald's were to use the whole Little Caesars pizza, their pizzas would not taste like McDonald's pizza, and would instead taste like Little Caesars, whose pizza may be somewhat successful due to its low price and hot and readiness, but everyone agrees tastes not unlike a pie filled with human waste. Instead of using the whole pizza, I propose McDonald's simply scrape off the sauce, cheese, and toppings, and retain the crust alone. They would still achieve significant cost savings, and the fact is that crust, while the defining component of pizza, is not that distinctive from one pizza to another. McDonald's can simply dust these dumpster crusts with a light dusting of cornmeal dust, and no one will be able to tell where they came from. At least, that is my theory. To test it, I would have to go into the field and taste test some discarded Little Caesars crusts myself. Unfortunately, this experiment proved to be somewhat challenging.
Thank you for calling Little Caesars customer service. Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Little Caesars. How can I assist you?
Hello, my name is Brian Thompson. I was just calling with a bit of a comment, but before I get to that, I was just wondering, the hold music I was just listening to, was that the Beatles?
It probably was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to figure out what song that was and look it up later. Well, the reason I'm calling is because the other day I went to my local Little Caesars to see if I could taste test some of the discarded crusts in the dumpster. And while I was in the dumpster, somebody who was, I guess, an employee of the restaurant closed and locked the dumpster, and I was in there pretty much all night. And thankfully,
What?
yes, I was locked in the.
Goodness.
Well, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, there were some discarded crusts in there I could eat, and there was some liquid on the floor of the dumpster that I was able to drink. But I wasn't there for a very long time until the very next morning when the manager of the store unlocked the dumpster and opened it up. I guess it was a safety thing, something to do with urban bears, keeping them out of the dumpster.
Really?
That's what I was told. But I was just calling to see if maybe there could be some kind of a policy update. So when employees close and lock the dumpster, maybe if they could knock on this.
Check it?
Sure, check it or
Yeah.
something like that. Just say, is anybody in there? Kick the side of it. Something like that.
I'm sorry for that.
Oh, it's okay.
God, what is the zip code there to this location?
I'm not sure the zip code. This was in the borough of Brooklyn in New York, United States, New York.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, geez. That's scary, really.
Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't very scary. It was just inconvenient. There were a lot of garbage bags in there that made for comfortable pillows, and I was able to empty some out and use them as blankets. And it wasn't even that cold of a night, actually. It's been unseasonably temperate
lately.
It
wasn't. Thank God it didn't snow anything
I always think
nothing.
God
Because
anything.
we usually have these big snowstorms this time of year, but we haven't had one, and I'm glad.
I'm very thankful that it didn't happen last night, for sure.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Okay, and what street would this store be on?
Oh, that is a good question. I'm sort of new to the city, so I don't really know the street names. I just look things up on Google Maps and then show it to the taxi driver.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll just submit a comment in here, a suggestion for them to start checking the dumpsters before, locking them up. Yeah, they need to check dumpsters like that for real, yeah.
Oh, sure. And I do understand if there is a problem with urban bears, I certainly don't want them to be getting into the dumpster because,
Right.
I don't want a situation where someone opens the dumpster in the morning and is attacked by an urban bear that leaps out.
Right. Mm-hmm. Understand. All right. I don't want you to get locked up in any more dumpsters.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll try not to. If I'm ever in another dumpster, then I'll make sure to raise a flag or something like that. Maybe.
Please do something. Yeah. Definitely.
Maybe put up a sign that says something like, if this dumpster's a rocking, please come a knocking and make sure I'm not in here.
No. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Okay. But, yeah, awesome. And when did this take place? What day was this? Last night?
Last night.
Okay.
It was shortly before closing time because I think that's when they throw out the most of the discarded pizza crusts. Like I said, I was in there to taste test those.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, I'll submit this in and let them know. Please check the dumpsters before locking them up every night.
Oh, thank you. I very much appreciate it.
Well, I thank you for calling in and informing us because you're the first for this, and this will go all around.
Oh, really? I am the first.
Yeah, you are.
Huh. That is very surprising.
Nobody has ever said that.
Okay, well, I guess I don't know if it's lucky me or unlucky me,
but... We learn something new every day, that's all.
That is certainly true. The Bard was right when he said that.
Okay, well, I thank you for calling in. You enjoy the rest of your day.
And thank you. You too.
All righty.
Bye-bye. Goodbye. Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com. To support the show, please join my Patreon at patreon.com/pizza@mcd's for exclusive benefits. And for more information, including links to social media, merchandise opportunities, etc., visit pizza@mcdonalds.com. Thank you to my invaluable Patreon producers: Bipolar Biped, Grant Bacon, Jacob Ford, Joe Kajik, Kimberly King, Andy McH, Kyle Turok, Pam Gabriel, Polly Egan, Thomas Young, Trisha Yates, Will, Adam Crump, Andrew Duffy, Andrew Ahmed Rubin, Billy Jean, Brad Allen Thompson, Creighton Barrow, Dan Dreyer, Jeffrey Francis Sylvia, Jay Poop, Calvin Thomas, Laurel Paul, Opus Moreski, Paul Fu, and Ryan Guggenmoss. I'm Brian Thompson, investigative journalist.